Okay. Hello and welcome to my digital learning portfolio reflective analysis video. So, what is my vision of teaching and learning and how has it changed since Foundations 1? Well, let's ask first semester Sarah. So this is Sarah on her first day of fall semester, never having stepped foot in a school, never mind in a priority school. In the first week of class, I stated that I think teaching is the transfer of knowledge and skills and that learning is the process of acquiring new knowledge and information. Although I don't think these statements are necessarily false, I think that teaching and learning are much more complex than this. And now here I am today. Yes, I'm a little bit more tired compared to the last photo, but the things that I have learned since then are enormous, and it is so cool to reflect upon. My current vision of teaching is centered around making students feel safe, loved, and letting them know that they matter in my classroom. It is also so important for students to see themselves represented in the material that is being taught. It is also very important that all material being taught does not exclude any students due to their cultural background or abilities. I think to sum it up, my current vision of teaching is based on building that connection with each and every student. Our students in priority schools really need this extra loving and support, and I am here to give it. These are some snapshots from my previous placement in grade 6 at Bayview Heights, and the students absolutely stole my heart. It was such a challenging experience, but it was also so rewarding to get to connect with these students. So as I mentioned before and showed before, my definition of learning used to be very centered around student learning new information and skills in school subjects. Although this is important, I think that I have learned the importance of emphasizing students learning how to interact with their peers, show respect, take care of themselves, and ultimately learn how to love themselves. Whether it be in kindergarten or grade 6, it is so important that we create an environment where students are allowed to learn how to do these things. It ultimately just comes back to valuing and respecting our students and allowing them to learn how to do this for themselves as well. Now let's talk about a couple of theories or perspectives that have really guided me in forming my new and profound vision of teaching and learning. So this semester, I have been very touched by all of the learning that we have done regarding the Indigenous culture. As you can see here in week 4, I reflected on the importance of understanding the tragic history of Indigenous people in Canada. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada demands that the provincial education system prioritize the teaching of Indigenous education to all students. As a future educator, I will look for opportunities to celebrate and integrate Indigenous culture into my classroom. This also includes making the land acknowledgement meaningful, which I talked about here in week 2. As a non-Indigenous person, it is sometimes difficult to lead a territorial land acknowledgement due to feelings of awkwardness or fear of saying the wrong thing. However, it is crucial that educators personalize land acknowledgements and make them age appropriate for students so that they don't become just another meaningless part of a daily routine. Overall, this has contributed to changing my vision of teaching and learning, as it taught me the importance of allowing students to see themselves and their classmates reflected in classroom material that you are teaching and daily classroom routines. It has also taught me that it is not only students that are constantly learning and bettering themselves, but teachers as well. Another concept that we learned about this semester that was brand new to me was the concept of universal design for learning and differentiated instruction. So as you can see here during week 3, I reflected on these concepts in my DLP. These ideas really hit home to me as I relate them back to my experiences teaching in a priority school in first semester. Differentiated instruction allows students to learn more about themselves as members of the community, as they can use their strengths to optimize their learning experience in school. This relates back to my vision of learning, as I am motivated to have students learn how to interact with others, respect others, and take care of themselves. Universal design for learning and differentiated instruction also benefit all learners and create a learning-friendly environment, which is very central to my vision of teaching. So one limitation of the enactment of my vision might not be knowing how to implement all of the strategies that I have learned in my future classroom, especially in my first year of teaching. I'm worried that I'll be so overwhelmed when I start off and will struggle to remember all of the wonderful things that I have learned, including how to implement universal design for learning and differentiated instruction into my day-to-day lessons. However, I think that if I commit myself to loving my students, surrounding myself with people who uplift me, and continually bettering myself as an individual and as an educator, everything will fall into place. I can't wait to see what the future holds and how my vision of teaching and learning continues to change as I grow. Thank you for listening.